What's up, guys? This video is going to be a little bit different, but I'm very excited about it. We're going to talk about the top things that I wish I invested in, things I was very close to investing in as a kid in the collectibles category, the top things to invest in now, and also when to buy, sell, or hold collectibles. So let's dive in. And shout out to XYAB, the sponsor of this channel. They're a business-to-business video game accessory supplier. I love them. And you can use our link in the description for $50 off your first order of $100 or more. All right, so behind me in this video, you guys are going to see, my collection, a lot of the things that, I've collected or in some cases do kind of consider investments. And I want to talk about the top 3 things that I was very close to investing in as a kid. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that I was a little bit weird as a kid. I've been reselling since I was 8 years old. Sold my first thing on eBay at 8, sold baseball cards on the bus before that. I brought packs in my bag to school. I literally made hundreds, if not thousands of dollars selling baseball packs at like $1 a pack. They were from the junk wax era. I knew that, and I literally saved up that money to buy other things. And this is like 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old Chase doing this, so it's really crazy to think about. I've always just kind of had the bug. I've been into this thing for a long time and have collected, and I want to know what are the top things that you almost invested in or that maybe you sold off way too early. Let me know in the comments down below because I know you guys have some stories. But for me, let's talk about my top 3. All right, number 1, and I'm not kidding you, I was about 12 years old and ready to pull the trigger on this card. That's the 2003 Exquisite LeBron James Rookie Patch Auto. His most valuable card. It's a card that at the time that I was looking at it, I was a couple years after his career had started, and I loved him. He was my favorite player. Came into the league when I was 10. So, right in that time. It was going for $18,000. So this would have been all the money I've had, all the money I saved up from reselling, from garage selling as a kid, as a weird kid, and I really wanted to buy it. But I had a little bit of doubt because if I bought that, I couldn't buy anything else. How long was I going to hold it? Would my mom even let me? And I had it like right there on eBay ready to buy, but I never did. And that card today is worth over $1 million, at least in the higher grade. So that would have been a pretty good one to buy. I wish I would have. Another one at a garage sale, and this wasn't even that long ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago. Like, I had the money to do it, no problem. Zelda NES sealed. So earlier print, I remember it was a garage sale, but it was like a store in his garage basically. He would have sold it for $1,000 cash. I thought that was crazy at the time. That take has aged poorly because the earlier print Zelda sealed, I think, in higher grade are 50,000 plus, 100,000 plus in some cases. Even multiple hundreds of thousands if you have the right version. I don't know which one it was that I was buying, but I know for $1,000 it would have been a great buy. And then the last one for me, which I was also very close to buying as probably a 10 to 12-year-old kid, was the 52 Topps Mantle Rookie. Now that card has been like the #1 card recently. It is the most iconic sports card, baseball card of all time. People think the PSA 10 will be worth $50 million, the #1 copy of that card the next time it sells, which is crazy. I think it could even be more. But even the SGC 2.5 is about $40,000. So that's probably about the condition I was looking at for $3,000 to $5,000. That would be worth $40,000 today. That was about 18 years ago, so that's crazy. Those are my top 3 things that I literally almost pulled the trigger on all of them or had the opportunity to buy. What are some of those things for you? But now we're going to get into the top things that I think, one could invest in now and some of the things that I'm actually investing in right now. You can see back here, one of the things that I really enjoy investing in that I think is very safe, and that's going to be sealed card product. So Elite Trainer boxes, they are from the modern Pokemon era, which investing in raw or opened, I think is honestly a terrible investment. So it's kind of funny, but because these are sealed, I think that separates them. And I'm only really investing in one of each Elite Trainer box because I don't want to be too deep into one particular set. And you can see that back here. I'm trying to get every single one. These are for the collection, but also it's nice as an investment. I think it's very safe. Now, some of these back here are Pokemon Center exclusive. I'm going to say that's even way more safe because those are actually limited. Pokemon just can't print those forever. They kind of do just one run and then they're gone. I literally just missed the most recent pre-order on one because it sold out so fast. So those are always going to be better than the regular versions. It's sealed product, right? So limited supply that only decreases. And I think with the increased attention on breaking cards and people using that for content or for their business, like on Whatnot or otherwise, it's just so safe because people are always going to need sealed product, and that it just keeps decreasing, which the value will probably increase as long as the demand stays there. So it feels safe, especially in the short term. The other thing is truly limited items. So you've got some stuff up here. Let me flip it around this way and turn it up. But you can see these graded cards kind of along behind me here. Those are pretty good. Some pretty limited stuff. I've got this. Let's see, Gold Star Entei. This is an example of a truly limited, truly low print card in high grade. That's an SGC 9 mint condition. That's a great example. Up on the ceiling, and go to CATRP if this looks cool to you, if you have cards that you're interested in. I've got some stuff up here. Like I've got a PSA 9 Gold Star Charizard. That one's up here. And then there's a lot of PSA 10 vintage cards. Those are truly low print, very hard to find. I've got a first edition Blastoise base set. I think those are very safe because the print runs are truly low. Pokemon is worldwide collectible. It's the #1 IP in the world by far. It's like almost every Disney property you could combine, and Pokemon is still bigger. So it's so safe. I think vintage Pokemon that has low print runs and still high demand, so a lot of Charizard stuff, that stuff probably will go up for a lot of the time. That being said, I think the time to sell Pokemon was a couple years ago during the boom of like 2020, 2021. I sold a lot of it. And that leads me to my next point, is when to buy, sell, or hold. If you made it this far, hit the like button. I literally have a tripod on a chair so I can swivel it for you guys to see different things. It's 6:30 in the morning right now as I'm recording this, and you're going to see this video the same day I'm recording it. So behind me you'll see the Pokemon Yellow. That was from my childhood. I graded it. It got a 9.0A, and that one I just decided that I would keep for the long term. That being said, I had almost every other Pokemon game sealed from Game Boy that I just bought in high school for $100, $200, $250 at the top. And things started to go crazy there. For a minute, there was a lot of attention on sealed games, and I decided that I would sell. I would sell, put these things, I literally like put them towards college funds for my kids. I have 3 kids now, and it was a great decision in my opinion because I don't know if the market will ever get that high again. Similar to the card market of a couple years ago, especially on things that weren't that rare, the market was just crazy. When the market goes crazy on something, when there's a lot of attention, a lot of people think they need to buy in that time. I think that's the time to sell. I've always been willing to sell. I try not to get too attached to things. That being said, I do think there's things that are worth holding for the long term that will probably always go up. And an example of that, let's swivel over here, is this top row here, well, the second row, the vintage packs. I think long term, and even better, vintage booster boxes or vintage cases of sealed product. That stuff I think will always go up a little bit if you have the right stuff. People did that in the late 80s, early 90s with sports cards, and I've been buying those for $5 a box or whatever, where they spent $50 or $30, whatever it was, in the 80s and 90s. So obviously that was a terrible investment. So you have to get the right stuff, right? So get stuff that's truly rare, organically collectible, the opposite of mass-produced scarcity. one of the things that I think is the worst investments and that I am selling everything of is Funko Pops. The Beanie Babies of this generation. If you collect them because you think they're cool, whatever, that's great. You do whatever you want with your collection, but if you have an investment mindset, if you got a spare $100, maybe $1,000, where are you going to use that as an investment in collectibles? I think Funko Pops would not be a choice investment. Now there are some Funko Pops, the top 1%, that are vaulted, that are truly scarce, and those ones might rise above, right? That's kind of the other thing is top 1% of any category, that's always going to be safe. So the most rare, the most iconic, the highest grade, that stuff traditionally has been the stuff that's aged the best and that will always go up in value. And that really is a very important point in investing in collectibles is look at the markets that are very mature. So I look at comic books. I think that's one of the most mature markets. The grading has been around for a long time. Those go back to the 30s with the Superman, the multi-million-dollar highest grade Superman #1. Even the Spider-Man vintage comics, that's a mature market, and what that has told us is that the top 1% of stuff in the highest grade, truly iconic pieces in high grade, are always going to go up in value. Those have gone up in value. They've really never went down. They might have went down a little bit since the 2020, 2021 boom of all collectibles, but I think still they'll kind of go back up. 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, the iconic card, the 1909 206 Honus Wagner. And now video games is such a new market. We don't really know. And they've been interesting because the things that have fetched value are really the high grade of the popular titles. So the truly rare games, like Stunt Racer, like Clay Fighter, Sculptor's Cut, like stuff like that, we really haven't seen many sales. We don't really know, and in a lot of cases, those haven't been getting as much as the popular games in high grade because investors don't really know what's rare. I don't know where that market's going to go. I think that would be a high risk market to invest in, though I love collecting in it. But I see that as a collection, not as much of an investment. So those are some of my thoughts. Quite a lot of things. It all depends on your goals. This was a different topic. Let me know if you guys want more stuff like this, kind of deep dives into different thoughts. And if you do, comment down below something you would love a deep dive into. And hit the like button. We'll see you guys on the next one.